Good evening. This is Bird Running Water, Cheyenne and Mescalero Apache, and chair of the Academy's Indigenous Alliance. Tonight we gather to celebrate on the ancestral lands of the Tongva people, the original caretakers of this water and land. We honor and pay our respect to the Tongva people, as well as the Tataviam and Chumash peoples, in acknowledgement of the neighboring lands in which many in our motion picture community live and work.
Please welcome the President of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, Janet Yang.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Scientific and Technical Awards. It's wonderful to be here with all of you and also to celebrate your incredible achievements. We are gathered here at our beautiful Academy Museum, which I should note is the largest museum of its kind, and it is quite fitting as this is where we honor film history with a focus on all disciplines of our industry. Tonight, we will present 9 awards for technical achievement and 7 scientific and engineering awards to a total of 45 talented individuals from around the world. From designing and developing new laser systems to engineering and expanding software products and every type of technology in between, your behind-the-camera work plays an integral part in creating the magic that audiences experience at the movies. Whether it's for just a few minutes or many hours, movies offer us an escape from reality. They transport us to varied and distant times and places, and often they serve as a window into worlds we couldn't possibly imagine on our own. It's your specialized skill, focus, and collective dedication that make this sublime experience possible. Furthermore, you do it in a way that appears so seamless, so effortless, when we know that can be very far from the truth. That is your gift to those of us who make and love movies, and I hope each of you feels a great sense of pride about your contributions to the art of filmmaking. And just as you once studied the work of those who came before you, there are legions of aspiring filmmakers who are studying your work. They are eager to learn more in the hopes of following the path you're forging. And for that reason, I hope you will continue to be fearless and innovative. We will all be watching. I thank you and applaud you for your tireless work, and I couldn't be more thrilled to celebrate with you tonight. Please enjoy every moment of this well-deserved recognition. And now, please welcome Chair of the Scientific and Technical Awards Committee, Barbara Ford Grant.
Good evening and welcome to the Academy Scientific and Technical Awards. We are delighted to be back once again at the stunning Academy Museum. I mean, it's amazing. On the opening remarks, and I know this comes with the gig, being chair of this committee, but it's a lot of pressure and it's not easy. And you know, there's writing, there's rewriting, there's getting a little help with the writing. I wanted to start out strong, so I thought about flourishes, metaphors, hyperbole, the usual dramatic kind of award show lexicon. How do we celebrate? How do we to really start out strong, knowing that we are here to celebrate? This is not my normal job. The truth is, I wanted to start with the truth. I stand here representing my peers and friends to let you know we see you. We see the long nights. We see the buckets of caffeine, we see the endless request lists, and we see the why isn't it working when it was just working. And we're so pleased to be able to honor you. The work you do is important and quite frankly, it's necessary. It is the engine under the hood of cinematic imagination, because the engine under the hood of cinematic imagination is science. All right, that's a metaphor, but come on, it was a good one. You're all scientists. You're all scientists of cinema. And since we're talking about science, let's talk about numbers. I love numbers. This year, we received 51 submissions that were narrowed down to 12 inspiring areas of technology, which has brought us to the 16 awards approved by our Board of Governors. Here are more numbers. We were very fortunate to have had a global community representing 70 technical experts who served on the investigation committees. As you can imagine, the time and effort involved in researching all these submissions is staggering. Our process requires many months, sometimes multiple years, of research by our committee. Each and every one of these volunteers, and that's right, they're volunteers, are committed to celebrating the truly innovative work from around the world people are doing to advance the art of motion picture. We know your work will serve to inspire future generations of creative minds to our industry. I want to thank the Academy Board President, Janet Yang, our Awards Committee Chair, Lynette Howell-Taylor, CEO Bill Kramer, as well as Mary Howard, Randy Hamberkamp, and the amazing number of staff at the Academy who have been supporting us and the SciTech process throughout this award cycle. And I'd like to, yes, thank you. Let's hear it for them. I'd like to thank my Vice Chair, Raymond Young, who has worked tirelessly to ensure the thoroughness of our process. Thank you, Raymond. Further, I'd like to recognize the stellar leadership of our subcommittee chairs, Francois Chaudevon, Darren Grant, Arjun Ramamurthy, and Sarah Priestnell. And now, I am very proud to stand up here representing our distinguished committee, but better yet, with those members of the main committee, the subcommittees, and the surrogates who participated on our behalf. Please stand. We can't thank you enough. Let them hear you. We can't thank you enough, truly. And speaking of distinguished members of our community, I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge and express my personal sadness over the loss of our dear friend, colleague, and committee member, Matt Sweeney, who passed away earlier this week. His warmth and that twinkle in his eye are forever etched in our hearts. Now, we have some extra guests here tonight, ticketed guests, and there might be their first time. Where are you? Ticketed guests? Show yourselves. Don't be shy. Perfect. Okay. Well, before we start, here's a bit of backstory for you newbies. The Scientific and Technical Awards are wholly unique in that they cover accomplishments that can take a decade or more of invention, refinement, engineering, and adoption. With creativity as the ultimate test, we look to recognize innovations that not only stand out above the obvious, but contribute immensely to the craft of cinematic storytelling. Tonight, we will honor some extraordinary work that has done just that. These technologies have enabled filmmakers to shoot in ways never before possible, safely create awe-inspiring special effects, exquisitely design and share digital creations, and dramatically level up the cinematic experience. This is why we are celebrating, and none of that is hyperbole. So enjoy tonight, and thank you.
Please welcome your host, actor, and filmmaker, Natasha Lyonne.
Thanks. It's too much, really, I swear. Okay, hi, guys. It's me, Natasha Lyonne. Hi. All right, let's start. Can I just say how fabulous you all look? I mean, when they asked me, these are going to help, to host the Scientific and Technical Awards, well, I was excited at the idea of black jeans and a RoboCop t-shirt sort of a night. But look at us all dressed up. I say you look terrific, really terrific. And me, I'm just delighted to be your host. Well, we're here tonight so the Academy can honor the discoveries and innovations that create significant and lasting impact on our beloved motion picture industry. Thanks to the achievements of you people, I'm actually not even here right now. Well, you see, you're actually looking at a glamorous assembly of voxels, while me, I'm at home catching up on all the prior Dune derivatives, including David Lynch's adaptation and even Jodorowsky's documentary detailing his failed attempt at an opus, all in prep for the release of Villeneuve's latest sequel. But the image fidelity, I mean, my God, unmatched. Now, do you guys want to, thank you. Now, you want to talk achievements of science and technology. Well, I've worked in this business for over 40 years at this point. I mean, this buoyant personality is being held up by a series of sophisticated cables. At the end of each night, I get John Ballou to cut me down. John, where are you? Okay, a little wave, maybe? John? Okay. Hiya, John. The point is, I've been in this business long enough to have seen the evolution of the cinema arts up close and personal. The Horse in Motion from 1879, well, I knew that horse. And I was cut out of that film. Okay. Now, look, usually we start these shows with a witty monologue where the host makes some barbs about codecs or laser modules and how they don't know anything about them. But me, well, I'm just honored to finally be among my people. Yeah, you see, I happen to respect the hell out of you. Yeah. And if you don't know me, you can IMDb me later, but suffice to say, I'll tell you, we're really each other's kind of people. I mean, yes, I'm an actor and a filmmaker, but I'm also a bit of an armchair scientist. I mean, are you looking to get into some quantum theory tonight? Because I think there's time. Or is there? Well, I've personally lost a lot of years at Russian all writers' room, and all I learned is that I generally identify as more wave than particle. Yeah, the codex guys, get it? I recently had the incredible fortune of working closely with Phil Tippett and Poker Face, yeah. I mean, this guy, this legend, the obsession with craft and detail, a total rebel, it became my new North Star of making pictures. Well, I'd say a round of applause for him, but we already got it for Phil, the Mad Dad himself. Yeah, guys, all right, Phil Tippett. Anyway, let there be no confusion. I'm delighted to be here with you guys tonight. And speaking of tonight, guess what? Everyone's a winner. Yeah, we didn't even invite the people not getting an award. I mean, isn't that nice of us? Yeah, well, also, in addition to tonight's honorees, we are joined by past recipients. Perchance, our returning winners from years past might stand up. Please, stand up. Congratulations. So tonight, we're handing out 16 awards, okay? So let's get into it. What do you say? All right. Anybody? I'll keep going. All right, I'll give you a little insight into acting while I'm up here. So, you know, once the cameras roll, we need the least amount of interference as possible. We're trying to be in the moment. So our first award of the night is going to a few guys who actually created an amazing piece of technology to help out a director. But the side benefit was, it also helped out the actors. And I called up an actor pal of mine to tell you all about it. So let's learn all about the Blind Driver Roof Pod. The Academy proudly gives a Technical Achievement Award to Arnold Peterson and Ilya Popov for their ongoing design and engineering, and to John Fraser for the initial concept of the blind driver roof pod. Let's hear it for them. Oh, yes, come on up.
Whoa, that's some big writing up there. I think Helen Keller could read that. So my name is John Fraser, and I'm a special effects supervisor for motion pictures. And thank you, Academy, for acknowledging my contributions over the years to the motion picture industry. It is truly an honor for me and my colleagues to be here tonight. Thank you to my lovely wife of 54 years for always being there for me and writing these speeches. My son Eric, who is here tonight, is a fourth-generation filmmaker and has become a well-respected special effects supervisor. His mom and I are truly proud of him. Last year, my 10-year-old granddaughter said, "Mommy, why didn't Papa mention you?" My daughter said, "Dad, you got to get another award to make your granddaughter happy." So, Devaney, this is for you. Along with a gift card to Neiman Marcus. I think it's in there. Yeah, there you go. So it's something to look forward to, right? So, okay, now we're going to get back to the speech. To quote the Eagles, "You know your life has been all right when you see your name on the silver screen." The Academy has brought us here tonight not to honor those of us who get screen credit, but to say thanks to the creative minds and genius that make the tools to make movies a fun and memorable experience. It is truly a humbling experience to be in your presence. When asked from me and Bryce, the producer of the movie Speed, "What's your thoughts, John, on driving the bus?" I jokingly said, "Put the driver on the roof and tell him to duck when he comes to the overpass." Those few words changed the vehicles are driven in movies. Little do we know the roof pod would become an industry standard around the world. 30 years later, our original rooftop steering concept is still being used. And thanks to Ilya and Arnie for their continuing quest for improving the pod and being able to adapt the pod to vehicles and higher speeds. Thank you very much to the Academy, and we really appreciate being here.
This is really an honor to receive this recognition from the Academy. Thank you. I'm grateful to my parents, my wife Sandra, and my son Weston, for putting up with the long hours, distracted attention. It's for the best, I hope. There are some very influential mentors that gave me guidance and important lessons early. The great Matt Sweeney, who recognized my potential and gave me the skills and opportunities to thrive. And of course, to John Fraser, the king of Hollywood, who threw challenges at me like a dartboard in a sleazy pub. I wish to thank the special effects fabricators and technicians that have helped build the roof pod and for their contribution as well. Their insights made the roof pod creation more efficient and possible. I'm honored to be an original contributor and having the opportunity to consult with Ilya on new direct cable steering modifications. The roof pod is here to stay, and it brings many exciting creative options to the screen, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of that. Thank you again to the Academy for this award, and John, you still owe me $800 for the rental on Speed.
You must think I'm in the studio.
Hello there. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Academy for this award. I would like to thank my family, my incredible mentors who have inspired me and guided me along my journey as a mechanical designer and fabricator. My wife, Tracy, my daughters Hannah and Nicole for sharing so much of me with this industry, above and beyond the normal workday, the long hours, weekends, on locations for months at a time, all the missed activities that a family would normally enjoy along the way. They have been my rock along this journey. Thank you. To my parents who taught me so much, you know, especially respect, integrity, and the value of a strong, knit, tight family. Thank you to John Fraser for the original concept, and Arnie Peterson here for the execution of the original concept. And thank you, Arnie, also for being a contributor to the ongoing development at my side many years. The latest development in steering controls also by Justin Sofio and Chris Cogswell at Gem Effects. With these developments, the blind drive pod has catapulted top speeds. You know, we talked about 100, we actually hit 155 miles an hour. So we raised the bar of performance of film work like to another level, and we intend on keep going. We thank the stunt coordinators and second directors who raised the bar to us to make us rise up to the challenge to find solutions on behalf of my team. And, you know, we'll all be here eagerly waiting to keep pushing and pushing and pushing performance of the pod vehicle. Thank you. Good night.
Congratulations. You know, for this next part, I asked if we could do a live demonstration. But it turns out dropping a 20-ton bus in the theater is not allowed per Academy bylaws. Who knew? This next video is going to show a lot of things dropping thanks to the MovieWorks cable cutter system. Where's my old friend, John G. Ballou, for the design and engineering of MovieWorks cable cutter devices. The Academy proudly presents a Technical Achievement Award.
I want to make sure I don't go over. Hang on a second. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was that far away. Okay. I certainly would like to thank the members of the Scientific and Technical Committee for their acknowledgement of my inventions. It's indeed an honor to receive this certificate. I would also like to mention the support and encouragement that I received from my dear friend Matt Sweeney. His mechanical genius has always been an inspiration to me, and man, I'm going to miss him. But really, the success of my pyrotechnic-operated cable cutters is because of the talented mechanical special effects people around the world who have come to rely on them. It's their imaginative use that has made them the motion picture industry standard. And when a steel cable needs to be remotely, instantaneously, and reliably cut, this is the device they use. Their creative use of this device is what keeps the audience in their seats. It's this small contribution to filmmaking that makes me the proud recipient of this award. And if I haven't used up all my time, I'd like to say one more thing that I think is really important. The cable cutters are now on sale in the museum gift shop. And if you show your ticket stub, you get 10% off while supplies last. God bless you and good night.
I definitely see better with these. So it's a highly publicized fact that I'm constantly going on about mathematically lossless compression. I mean, sorry, not sorry, but I value my bandwidth. Am I right? So this is why I'm very excited about this next award. The Codex High Density Encoding, or HDE, as we like to say in the club. High density encoding, huh? To James Eggleton and Delwyn Holroyd for the design, implementation, and integration of the HDE lossless compression algorithm within the Codex recording toolset. The Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award.
I'd like to thank the Academy for this honour. This award is the culmination of a huge team effort. I would like to thank all of my colleagues at Codex and highlight the key contributions of Delwyn Holroyd for architecting the Codex recording platform, Harry Mallon for his stewardship of the HDE SDK, and Mark Dando for forging the path to market and for his unshakable belief in both the concept and our team. The success of the HDE ecosystem depends on support from our industry partners. We'd like to thank ARRI for making remarkable cameras and for their commitment to lossless RAW workflows. Marvel Studios, Photochem and ARRI Rental for their pioneering spirit supporting the first wave of HDE productions, and the more than 30 companies that have integrated HDE into their products and services. Thank you to the community of industry professionals who continue to demand the highest quality RAW images. I would like to dedicate this award to my parents, my wife Catherine and my daughter Martha. Thank you.
So I actually used HDE to compress my speech to only 60% of its original length, which hopefully you'll all be very happy about. So I'd like to thank the Academy for the award. It's a great honour, obviously, to have your work recognised. I'd also like to thank Paul Bamborough and Anita Sinclair for believing in me when I first said I wanted to build a digital recording system way back in 2002. Mark Dando in the audience for all his encouragement, determination and hard work over many years. It's been my pleasure to work with James Eggleton on HDE, amongst many other things. And James has never been someone who's short of good ideas, and I have to say, James, this is one of your better ones, so well done. Finally, I'd like to thank Harry Mallon, also in the audience, for his careful optimisation of the code, Vincent Lai for his work on GPU and FPGA implementations, Joe Wright, without whom no Codex product would have ever made it out of the door, and everyone at Codex for helping to turn HDE from a concept into an integral part of the workflow. Thank you all.
Friends, it's time to talk about something serious. Open VDB. Now, first of all, it's open. It says it right there in the title. Now, you gotta love open. But what is it? Just the comprehensive toolset for the manipulation of voxels, aka the unit of measurement for volumetric representation. Now, for the kids at home, and there are many children, if pixels are like squares, then voxels are like bricks, yeah? But you all know that. Tonight, OpenVDB is back in a big way. When OpenVDB was recognized in 2015 with the Technical Achievement Award, it was a newbie in the industry. But in the years since, its impact has turned out to be much greater, dare I say more voluminous, than its original award signified. Thanks. They call that an inside joke. The Academy decided to give it an upgrade, a scientific and engineering award. So even though there's no booze in the theater, it's dry as hell, let's tally up some voxels and you can take them back later. All right, we have a few awards to give out here. First, the Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award to Jeff Late, Dan Bailey, and Nick Avramoussis for the continued evolution and expansion of the feature set of OpenVDB.
Wow. We are thrilled to be accepting this award. On behalf of my fellow recipients, thank you very much to the Academy, SciTech and the Investigating Committee. We would like to thank the other members of the OpenVDB Steering Committee, Richard Jones, Andre Pradhana and Greg Hurst, all of whom have played an important and influential role in the direction of the project. We give thanks to the open source community and all of the contributions to VDB over the years, and to Ken for his leadership and unwavering enthusiasm for the project. We extend our appreciation to our users, to the effects artists in particular, but also to everyone using it around the world for feature films, streaming content, video games, and more. The creative and innovative ways that you use VDB and the incredible results you produce inspire us and continue to drive the project forward. I would like to thank the technical leadership at Double Negative, who more than 10 years ago was supportive of the idea of establishing a deep collaboration with the VDB team at DreamWorks, and to the technical leadership at ILM, where I have been for the last 6 years, who have been supportive of my continued contributions, including sharing ideas and techniques that have been well established at ILM. I would like to say a special thank you to my family, to my parents, Ray and Linda, for all your support over the years, to my partner, Clementine. Your love and encouragement have made this journey so much more rewarding. And finally, to our 6-year-old son, Leo, to whom I dedicate this award. Your never-ending curiosity is a constant reminder to me to keep questioning the implementation decisions of the original founders of VDB. Thank you.
I would like to thank my wife, Caitlin, and my daughter, Sophie, who have supported me over these years and also helped to keep me grounded in reality. I'd also like to thank my colleagues at Side Effects, especially Edward Lamb, that have contributed as well greatly to OpenVDB, integrating into Houdini, maintaining it, and giving stuff back into the OpenVDB ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I want to thank everyone my colleagues have mentioned, especially the people and organizations that have supported our efforts for open source, and the artists that have continuously inspired the work that we do. I want to thank Dan Bailey and Richard Jones, who have been collaborating on OpenVDB for the last 10 years. I also want to thank Francisco Gochez and Matt Warner, and especially want to thank WetaFX and all my colleagues in the rendering department there for their support. And finally, I'd like to thank my friends and family, especially my brother Andreas and my amazing parents, Jill and Christos. I wouldn't be able to do this without their support, so thank you.
To Ken Moseth, Peter Kuka, and Mihai Alden for the creation of OpenVDB and its ongoing impact within the motion picture industry, the Academy presents a Scientific and Engineering Award.
Thanks to the Academy for this incredible honor. OpenVDB has been near and dear to my heart since its inception in 2009, and as such, I'm very grateful for this recognition. All the three of us wants to thank DreamWorks Animation for nurturing and open sourcing this project, Side Effects for being the very first industry-wide adopter, and especially our co-developers, David, Jeff, Dan, Nick, Richard, Andre, and Greg. I also want to express deep gratitude to the Academy Software Foundation, SpaceX, Weta, and NVIDIA for supporting this project in various ways, as well as a long list of movie studios, companies, research teams, and individual contributors that have made OpenVDB so successful. Last but not least, I want to thank my family, my wonderful wife, Katrina, my amazing son, Anders, my mother, Hannah, my brother, Nils, my sister, Mette, and finally, Margot Robbie for being such a great ambassador and making OpenVDB sound so attractive. Thanks again, and have a great night, everyone.
I'm deeply honored to accept this award, a testament for our collaborative achievements at DreamWorks Animation. My gratitude extends to the Academy, our R&D and effects teams, and especially to my wife, Kim, and our children, Liam and Ivy, for their unwavering support. And I dedicate this award to my mother, Nella, whose resilience and determination have always guided me. Thank you.
This is first and foremost for my family. I'd like to dedicate it to my brother Mike. But secondly, this award is for all the creators and maintainers of open source software, especially those on whose shoulders OpenVDB stands, and hopefully others to come who will stand on OpenVDB's shoulders. As well as all the people that Ken and Mihai mentioned, I'd like to thank a couple of other people who helped make OpenVDB a success. Ron Henderson for assembling the original development team, Andrew Pierce for shepherding the project through the open sourcing process, and David Hill for his key early contributions to the project. Thank you to the Academy for this honor, and to our hosts for this wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, get hyped. Because next up, you know them, you love them, they're layerable, they're hierarchical. Let's show some love for 3D scene description frameworks. Tonight, we are giving away awards to 3 teams. Now, that's a lot of engineers. And you know how engineers can get when they're not engineering. Now, once we call them up here, all bets are off. Well, I've officially gone rogue. I've gone full 2 Street for my love, Ryan Johnson. If the recipients can please come up calmly, one group at a time, in an orderly fashion. Okay, first to Oliver Castle and Marcus Shue for the design and engineering of Atlas, and to Keith Lackey for the prototype creation and early development of Atlas. The Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award.
We are very, very excited, kind of mildly terrified, but incredibly honoured to be able to accept this award on behalf of everybody that contributed to Atlas. We'd like to start by thanking the Academy and the whole SciTech team for recognising Atlas tonight. We would like to send out a huge thank you to the entire Weta community. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. Definitely thank you for your patience. But mostly thank you for just being an incredible group of people. We'd especially like to say thank you to Joe Lettieri for fostering the culture that allowed Atlas and countless other projects to come into being. Atlas has been used on over 60 projects, but the Avatar sequels pushed Atlas forward more than any other. We'd like to say thank you to James Cameron and the entire teams across all of Lightstorm Entertainment for their support and their trust. Personally, I want to say thank you to Jack Greasley for giving me my start in this industry many years ago. I'd like to say thank you to my entire family, my dad, my stepdad, and my father-in-law, my mum, who's here tonight from Sydney, and to my wife, who in being an amazing software engineer herself, inspired me to become one, and continues to inspire me every day. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. So we'd like to thank Sean Dunn. Thank you for your crucial role in kickstarting the Atlas project. Thank you for your inspiration, vision, and motivation. To Atlas Cole and Graham Demex, and all the project managers and coordinators that kept us on track. The core Atlas team has always been a small collaborative group we feel privileged to have been a part of. In its 12-year history, over 20 developers have been on the Atlas team, and we sincerely like to thank each and every one of them for their contributions. Unfortunately, we can only name a few. Thank you, Steve Lesser, Eric Fang, Matthew Graham, Barbara Howe, and Jonathan Graham. Personally, I'd like to thank my wife, my parents, and my children for their support along this long journey. I'd also like to thank my business partners, Phil, Marissa, Adam, Jalil, Aaron, and all the Steamroller family back home.
We would like to thank the Zeus team for their invaluable work on the user interface of Atlas, especially Daniel Smith, Miles Jackson, and Justin Rosen. We'd also like to thank the small army of developers and artists who invested years building the technology and workflows that make up the wider Atlas ecosystem. These efforts are exemplified by the contributions of Paolo Silva, Chris Edwards, Patrick Peterson, Benny Edlund, Jonas Berl, and Phil Barringer. Finally, a special thank you goes to Lex French, the current leader of the Atlas team. Lex, without your tireless championing of Atlas, we would not be here today. On a personal note, I'd like to thank my parents for their love and support throughout, and I'd also like to thank Wayne Stables for giving me the opportunity to work with the incredibly talented crew at Weta. Thank you.
Next, the Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award to Lucas Miller, Christopher Horvath, Steve Levites, and Joe Arden for the creation of the Alembic Caching and Interchange System.
At long last, now I can tell you all how I really feel. And as the color drains from every manager I've ever had, I'd like to start with, don't worry, my lovely wife Laura is here. Making sure I don't embarrass her is one of my highest priorities. To the gentlemen who are joining me tonight, Steve, Chris, and Joe, and at Sony Pictures Imageworks and ILM, I thank you. It certainly wasn't easy combining ideas from two different companies while also inventing something that could be adopted by other studios and vendors. At the end of the day, I think we struck a good balance. To my wife, Laura, and my children, who through poor timing on our part never got to be proper production babies, Cecilia, Stan, and Madeline, you've definitely made me a less feral and more considerate human being. To the artists and production staff who have adopted Alembic, I sincerely hope we were able to make your lives easier and improve your quality of life under increasingly difficult deadlines. Thank you for your feedback. To the individuals, companies, and software vendors who have contributed to the project directly or just asked a question, thank you for showing that open source works. To my Sugar Camp, Three Lakes, and Culver City communities, thank you for believing and investing in me. And one final thing before I hand it off, I apologize to anyone who had money in the pool that I would drop an F-bomb during my speech. I really am on my best behavior. I love you all.
We would like to thank everyone at Industrial Light and Magic who supported Alembic, whether by contributing code, integrating it into pipelines, or championing it with partners. Special thanks to Lynn Brennan, Richard Karras, Tommy Burnett, who's here tonight, and especially to Stacy Bissell.
I want to thank everyone who helped make Imageworks of that era such a great place to work and such fertile ground for innovation. Many of those people are here tonight. I've been lucky enough to stumble into multiple situations with a clear and collective problem and just the right people to solve it. Those times are magically productive, so I need to thank my family for always enduring the side effects of such productivity. Thank you again.
I'd like to thank the Academy, especially the volunteers on the committee. To my fellow Alembic devs, you know who you are. My manager, Shantarika, and my wonderful wife, Chris.
Finally, To F. Sebastian Gracia, Alex Moore, Sonia Bunyatera, Brett Levin, and Jeremy Cowles for the design and engineering of Pixar's Universal Scene Description. The Academy presents a Scientific and Engineering Award.
Since there are 5 of us, we also decided to apply HDE and compress our thanks down to 1 speaker. We'd like to thank the Academy for this great honor, and especially the committee who devoted so much of their time to evaluating our work. USD is a big software framework, and many other engineers have contributed significantly to it, particularly the members of the core engineering team at Pixar. You folks are amazing and a pleasure to work with. Thank you. A key reason that USD is being honored for the impact it's had on the filmmaking industry is that it cohesively addresses so many of the challenges that you face when trying to build a 3D filmmaking pipeline. And it's not a coincidence that USD comes from Pixar, because one of our guiding principles is that art and technology challenge and enhance each other. And the norm is for artists and engineers to work together on making great movies and on fantastic tools. So I'd like to acknowledge that the design and engineering we 5 are being honored for tonight builds on passionate, collaborative problem solving from dozens and dozens of Pixar engineers and artists, going back to before Toy Story was in the can. For creating and continually sustaining this kind of environment, we'd like to thank the entire Pixar leadership team, past and present. For their daily and thoughtful support, we'd like to thank core engineering directors George L. Cora and Florian Zitzelberger. And a special thank you to Guido Coroni for challenging us with this project in the first place, one that I was so skeptical of initially that I made sure we had a more modest backup plan in place. I'm really glad that plan was never needed. We'd also like to thank the entire VFX and filmmaking industry who have so warmly embraced USD and become frequent collaborators on improving and pushing USD further. It feels like USD has not only shrunk the distance between animation tools, but also the distance between filmmaking studios, which has been immensely rewarding. Finally, we'd all like to thank our families, Amy Cowles, Ann Moore, Celine Bunyatera, Hong Mai Nguyen, and Mei Chua. Some of you are watching from the audience, and some of you are watching this from a recording. Either way, you're always with us, and it's hard to imagine doing this without you. Thank you so much for your love, support, and encouragement. Thank you.
Okay, we're halfway to dinner, but we're not stopping. No intermission, no halftime show, no shenanigans. We're knowledge workers, and we ride straight through until the morning. As someone possessing a distinct vocal instrument that produces particular frequencies and layers requiring the utmost sensitive technologies, one thing I never take for granted: in a film sound. Well, thankfully, a little company called Dolby agrees and continually innovates around sound, so audiences get the most incredible audio experience in a movie theater. Yeah, look, in these divided times, which is all the time, there is one thing we can agree on, and that is Dolby sound. I don't even know the name of another one. Don't even call me if that sound ain't Dolby. Now I know what you're thinking. I can't wait to hear the Dolby Atmos award package and the Geffen's state-of-the-art Atmos system. Well, I've got an update. The local council that represents the streets between Fairfax and Curson, north of Wilshire, south of 6th Street, a very specific area, have a no Atmos policy in place for after... That's my watch. 7 o'clock, Barbara? Okay, instead we'll be hearing about Dolby Atmos and two-channel sound. Let it be a sobering reminder of where we'd be today without the good people of Dolby. The Academy presents a Scientific and Engineering Award to Charles Q. Robinson, Nicholas Zingos, Christoph Shaban, Mark Vinton, and the team of software, hardware, and implementation engineers of the Cinema Audio Group at Dolby Laboratories for the creation of the Dolby Atmos Cinema Sound System.
Good evening. It is a thrill to be here tonight and to be with all of you to honor the accomplishments of our industry. We'd like to thank the Academy for creating this forum and for this remarkable recognition. Creating Atmos required that we touch every step of the soundtrack creation and distribution chain, and so required the support of studios, post facilities, directors, mixers, and exhibitors. We thank you all for your support, and thank you for making the most of the capabilities of Atmos. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the entire Atmos team, past and present, for their contributions, talents, and camaraderie. There are far too many people to name, but I would like to recognize Louis Fielder, Mark Davis, Patrick Saunders, and Tony Mateos, my colleagues in Soundtech Research. Engineers Paolo Rumi, Eric Jurgen, Dasim Nurmukhanov, and Ken Legault, and Brad Thayer in engineering. Sound mixer Jurgen Scharf, and Pascal Saijan, Stuart Bowling, Andrew Poulain, and Steve Venezia, who helped forge the path for the success of Atmos. Lastly, I'd like to thank my wife Sharon and son Thomas for putting up with the many late nights and missed dinners, and I hope that they agree that it was all worthwhile when they and we all go to the cinema and listen to movies. Thank you.
It feels great to be here tonight to celebrate the success of Atmos. Thank you to the Academy for this tremendous honor. Dolby team, many of you in the room tonight, I'm proud of what we created together. It's been truly wonderful working with you who share my passion for immersive sound. Let me also recognize all the sound artists who turn this technology into movie magic every day, including my colleagues at Skywalker Sound, the first Atmos adopters. Finally, I'd like to thank my friends and family, my wife Agatha and our children, Maya and Cyril. You all bring endless joy to my life. Thank you so much for your love and support.
I would like to thank the Academy for this amazing honor. I'd like also to share that the experience of seeing our ideas, our equation, turning into movies and emotion is absolutely something like nothing else. So I'd like to thank all my colleagues and everyone in the room from the Atmos team. It's been an incredible journey. And I would like to dedicate this award to my wife, Patricia, and my son, Antoine, and my other son, Jacques. Thank you.
Thank you to the Academy, and it's an absolute honor to be recognized for our work. Thank you to everyone at Dolby. It was a huge team effort to get Atmos created. Thank you to my wife and daughter, my wife Winnie and my daughter Cara, and thank you to my friends and family back in New Zealand. Thank you.
When I'm making a movie or a show, I love working out the wardrobe for a character. I don't really. It tells so much about who they are, that it does. Now, you see, Charlie Cale from Poker Face, yeah. Well, she has that iconic trucker hat because, you know, she's always on the move and has to keep a low profile. Maybe a different sort of hair or person would have helped. Now, Megan Bloomfield from I'm a Cheerleader. Well, she's forced to wear her pink cardigan in an attempt to give her an all-American straight girl look. And Nikki Nichols? Well, she's in jail. And now there is a piece of software that allows designers to create costumes virtually. Remember in Clueless, that futuristic computer program Cher had for planning outfits? Well, this is way beyond that. To Jaden O for the concept and development of the marvelous designer clothing creation system, the Academy presents a Scientific and Engineering Award.
Thank you to the Academy for this major recognition. It's an honor of a lifetime. I think I might be one of few recipients tonight coming on stage on my own. But I wasn't alone in our journey together to make tonight possible. For the past 15 years, we at Global Vision have worked tirelessly to make the best class simulation and software possible. All members of the Global Vision family, I want to tell you, tonight is about recognizing your hard work and sacrifice so far. So you can be proud of what we achieved together. We are grateful to our families as well. We are nothing without their support and love. And next, to our marvelous designer users, I think this award is also for you. As a developer and creator, we are inspired by you every single day, hours, minute, second, right? So the incredible things you create really motivate us to do better and better moving forward. So we went from 10 functions in our first version of Marvelous Designer to over 800 features in the latest one. This would not have been possible without your endless feedback and love. So we will continue to improve Marvelous Designers for you. From garment modeling and animation to rigging and UV work and more advanced ones, more exciting ones, so that you can tell your stories to the world. And finally, thank you to my beloved family, my wife, Jui, and my mother and father and parents-in-law. And also thanks to my professor, Wang Guangyan, for his invaluable guidance and support. Also for my kids, my future, Kyungjin and Seojin. You see me now? Maybe later. But actually, one of my personal goals is to get recognition from them, eventually for making something cool. But I don't think I'm quite there yet. So I begged them to try designing clothes using our software, but no luck so far. So I'm still pretty boring that to them. So my mission and the work continues until the day when children, my kids' age, middle school and elementary school students, find it fun and easy to design and create clothes of their own. We are going to make it possible. And okay, once again, thank you to the SciTech committee and the entire Academy, as well as our incredible Global Virtual Vision members and users. Thank you. Good night.
You can believe it, we are at the last set of awards before dinner time. I have the menu in advance. They are serving hot dogs, bags of chips, and an ice cream sandwich, and it's one per person. And Roof Pod, folks, I received your text, and the answer is no. You can't have 2 ice cream sandwiches. Okay, if you thought the Frameworks folks were lunatics, well, get ready. because we're getting into lasers. I mean, it's about to get real in here. Yep, and we are handing out 6 awards. I'm seeing a Moonraker-esque space laser shootout frenzy, and I am not mad about it. The final award is all about laser projection, and it's a 2-parter. The first part is the laser modules. Those are the clusters of diodes that actually generate the light and color that makes up the picture. Then we're talking about taking those modules and putting them into the device that transmits the image to the silver screen, better known as the projector. All right, here we go. Let's all just play nice up here, okay? So we're going to start with all the laser module honorees. So to Bill Beck for his pioneering utilization of semiconductor lasers for theatrical laser projection systems, the Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award.
Let me answer this question. How many people does it take to change a light bulb? A few. A few who decide to do it, a few more to see if it can be done. A few more who try to do it and fail spectacularly. A few more who think they're smarter than the ones who failed. A few more who realize it will take real money. A few more to set up labs, budgets, justifications, spreadsheets. A few more who build some interesting prototypes and more to critique those prototypes. A few who discover this new light bulb could be dangerous. A few more who put a fence around the light fixture with danger signs hanging from it. A few more to convince the lawyers that the new light bulb is not dangerous. A few to do the numbers again and again. A few more who are willing to share ways to make the new light bulb even better. A few more to test the new light bulb against the old. A lot more to do demos with all kinds of projectors. And before you know it, it's a movement. So to the winners here tonight and a few thousand creative people who made this laser thing happen, I want to say a big thank you. I may not know all of you, but I do know most of you. And I know it took a huge effort to dream, build, test, convince, and build again. And here we are, lasers and cinema projectors, a 20-year overnight sensation. Finally, I'd like to thank the Academy for this recognition and all the thought leaders I've encountered along the way who made sure that in this beautiful marriage of art and technology, the art would always come first. Well, that's the short story of laser cinema projection. But now I must recognize my artist, Christine Guarino, wife, mother, painter, philosopher, and best friend, who for 48 years has kept the balance in our marriage of art and technology. Thank you for everything, Christine.
To Greg Niven for his pioneering work in using laser diodes for theatrical laser projection systems, the Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award.
Yeah, I don't think she knows that laser guys have a lot of fun typically. So we've never been invited before, and we may never get invited back after tonight. We'll find out. I've had a few big weeks lately. So 2 weeks ago, my 49ers were in the Super Bowl, but they unfortunately lost. Then last week, one of my daughters got married, and now I have this amazing award ceremony.
So first of all, I have to admit that I was shocked to get this. It's fantastic that the laser nerds are finally getting recognized for something. So most people don't realize that there are actually many types of lasers and so many different products these days. So in the days of photographic film, my colleagues and I built lasers that were used to image the prints that you used to get from your film-based cameras. Then lasers were also used to make the master film that would go into the cinemas. And then the lasers were even used to write subtitles on films. So I started working on lasers for projection in 2002, and they're now enabling the best possible visual experience. So super exciting and really fulfilled a big dream of mine. For my thank yous, I have to thank my lovely wife, Michelle, looking great tonight, without which I would never have been able to gallivant all around the planet developing the laser cinema market. And I have 2 of my 4 kids here, Paige and Rachel, also looking lovely. They may actually be glad that I went away a fair amount, because I would always bring them back fun treats from wherever I went. My second thank you is to my good friend and coworker of about 30 years, Michael Fernandez. Mike, please wave. There he is. So the reason that guy is so blindingly pale is that he never leaves the lab. And he is the guy that is responsible for building every single laser that we ever made. Nothing would have happened without him. And I want to make sure that he's acknowledged. I also wanted to thank Barry Silverstein, sitting here, a fellow award winner for his amazing laser projector, because he was my first major design win, my first major customer, my biggest fan and encourager. In fact, our first ever laser shipment went to Barry and his team. What goes unknown are the crazy stories that went into these laser products actually hitting the market. They included going bankrupt not once but twice, spending years trying to convince the projector makers of the benefits of laser light sources, trying to raise funds in the middle of the 2008 credit crisis, squatting in our building for 6 months of free rent because we told the landlord that if he kicked us out, he would be responsible for all the canisters of poisonous gases used to make our lasers. Not getting paid for 6 months while having a wife and 4 kids at home. Praying that all of our laser lifetime tests were going to pass successfully, and many more. Honestly, I consider it a true miracle that we pulled off what we did. And thanks to Jesus, I do believe in miracles. In closing, I'd like to thank my mom and dad, who are also sitting here tonight. Because if I didn't have their support and wasn't raised to have confidence and take risks, all of this would have never happened. Thank you.
Turns out I've actually heard all about laser guys. The Academy presents a Technical Achievement Award to Yoshitaka Nakatsu, Yogi Nagao, Tsuyoshi Hirao, Tomonori Morizumi, and Kazuma Kozuru for their development of laser diodes for theatrical laser projection systems. Here to accept is Yoshitaka Nakatsu.
Thank you to the Academy and the Scientific and the Technical Awards Committee for this honor. I'd like to first recognize and thank my colleagues that could not join us in person today. As I accept the awards on their behalf, Yoji Nagao, he developed blue laser diodes. Tsuyoshi Hirao, he designed the laser diode chip. Tomonori Morizumi, in charge of ensuring laser diode reliability. And last but not least, Kazuma Kozuru, who designed the packages for laser diodes. My development focus was on green laser diodes, such as a wavelength of 532 nanometers. I'd also like to extend my gratitude to all the members of the Nichia Laser Diode Division, including Director Tokuya Kozaki and Shinichi Nagahama, for their pioneering galvanized laser diode technologies. Nichia is a company that encourages us to try new things. There is a culture to innovate and develop new things, technology that can benefit humankind. With our motto in mind, ever researching for a brighter world, Nichia has evolved from its beginning, from the calcium powder to the invention of the blue and white LED, and to the development of the laser diodes. Additionally, many thanks to our cinema customers, as the green laser diodes were developed with cinema projectors as a primary target application. We could not reach this achievement without you all and your collaborations. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family, especially Hiroaki and Ellie and Keishun, for your patience, love, and support through the years. I would not be standing here without you. Thank you so much.
And now the awards for the projectors. To Peter Janssens, Goran Stojmenovic, and Walter Dusterlink for the design and development of the Barco RGB laser projector. The Academy presents a scientific and engineering award.
Thanks to the Academy for honoring us with this award. It's a testament to Barco's culture and of innovation and leadership in cinema technology and beyond. This year, it's even more special as we at Barco celebrate our 90th birthday. We would explicitly like to thank all of our colleagues at Barco who helped to develop our past and current laser projector portfolio. I would also like to thank our management that took up the challenge to invest in this technology, Wim Buyens, Injans Rombout, and Bram Dierks. Also, a big thanks to Stefan Dierks, present here, for taking up the overall project management for our first Barco RGB laser projectors. On a personal note, I want to thank my friends and family, especially my parents and my wife Sabine, present here, and my kids, Henri and César, following the ceremony from Belgium. Thank you.
First and foremost, I would like to thank our customers like Cinemark and Kinepolis, as well as the various Hollywood studios who believed in our RGB laser projection technology early on. Next, I'd like to thank Jan Dam. As chair of LIPA, he paved the way for reforming IEC standards, which made the market more receptive for laser projection. Up there in the list is also Bill Beck. Bill, your never-diminishing enthusiasm helped challenge status quos in both the technology and the market. Finally, I would like to thank my parents for believing in me and my wife Els for standing by me during the many years of frequent travels and long days in the office. Thank you.
I would like to thank my colleagues in the research team of Barco's Technology Center that worked together with me during the early days of laser projection in Barco. I would also like to thank in particular Peter Gerrits, who was heading this team. Without this team, we would have never been standing here tonight. We must also mention our laser suppliers, with whom we work together and for their intense cooperation in the development of the laser light sources that we needed to bring our projectors into the market. Finally, I would also like to thank my family and friends for their support, Sophie, my son Mats, and my parents. Thank you.
The Academy presents a Scientific and Engineering Award to Michael Perkins Garvin Domberg, Trevor Davis, and Martin J. Richards for the design and development of the Christie E3LH Dolby Vision Cinema Projection System, implemented in collaboration between Dolby Cinema and Christie Digital Engineering teams.
First, thank you to the Academy for this wonderful recognition. I was the project lead at Dolby, and I'd like to thank the team that I represent. First to Scott Miller and the Applied Research Group, to Matthew Robinson and the FPGA team, Ray Tonks and the EE team, Glenn Woodruff and the software team, Barrett Lippy and the optomechanical team, Michael Spencer and the QA team, to Doug Gorney and the deployment team, and to him and Marty and Gerwin for their work on the fundamental technology. Last but not least, thank you to our wonderful program manager, Lai King Mao. I'd also like to thank the executives at Dolby, Kevin Yeaman, John Calling, Jed Harmson, and Pete Van Kessel, some of whom are here tonight. A project like this takes years of us promising and then believing, and thank you for believing in us. Thank you to Mike, David Kears, and Darren Hoffman, and the engineers at Christie. Thank you for the collaboration. Lastly, I'd like to thank the studios. I see us like the folks that made the paints used by the artist Van Gogh. With our technology, we create the palette, but it's the studios who paint the sunflowers. Thank you for all the wonderful movies you've chosen to show in Dolby Cinema. The Christie E3LH Dolby Vision projector will be nothing without your remarkable creativity and your dedication to fine cinematography. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank the Academy and the committee for the recognition and Dolby Labs for the opportunity to work on what was the most exciting project of my career, 45 years. Also, thanks to my wife, Lori, and son, Graham, for putting up with the long hours and over-enthusiastic explanations.
I've had a love for movies and for technology since I was very young, and today I first and foremost want to thank the Academy for letting me contribute to this amazing, creative, historical juggernaut of an institution. Thank you. I'd like to thank my wonderful wife, Astrid, who's here tonight, for always having my back and my family, including Philip and Johannes, and my little girl, Matea, who says she wants to become a woman engineer, for supporting me throughout my crazy startup, academic, and corporate adventures in cinema over the past 2 decades. Finally, a big thank you to all of my industry colleagues that love cinema as much as I do. Many of you who are here in this room for collaborating with me and for making cinema more and more awesome. In particular, my former colleagues Marty and Trevor at Dolby, my industry peers at Christie, including Mike, and my current colleagues at Barco, and our co-CEO, Ans Stegen, who is also here in the audience tonight. Thank you, and hopefully I'll have the chance to continue working to involve this exciting industry. Thanks.
"13 years ago, Dolby presented to Christie a vision for what the future of cinema exhibition could be. To achieve this ambition required Christie to create the greatest projector ever made, the E3LH. I would like to begin by thanking Dolby for proposing the challenge, and I would like to thank Jack Klein and Jerry Reimers for accepting it. I would like to thank Mike Kesh for entrusting me with the task of solving the riddle of how to do it. I also want to thank Darren Hoffman for putting together one of the best teams I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Thank you to Koichi Ito, Edwin He, and all the people at Christie who put their passion to making the E3LH such a success. I also want to thank my parents. From my earliest memories, they encouraged me to always be curious. This award is for you, Dad. I would never have gotten here without you.
The Academy presents a Scientific and Engineering Award to Steve Reed and Barry Silverstein for their contributions to the design and development of the IMAX prismless laser projector.
Of course, I want to thank the Academy and the SciTech Committee for this very great honor. Innovation is a process that combines discovering an opportunity, crafting a vision to seizing it, and executing on that vision to yield tangible results. It demands courage to challenge the status quo, take calculated risks, and venture into uncharted territory. This is the path to an exciting life, and this is what led me to this great day. Since the genesis of the prismless-based system at Kodak, the journey to solve the challenge of achieving brightness and contrast and image quality on the world's largest screens with digital projection system has been a collaborative endeavor embraced by a remarkable IMAX team. This endeavor not only showcased our commitment to excellence, but also reinforced IMAX standing as a pioneer in delivering unmatched quality and immersive cinematic experiences on the world's largest of screens. Similarly challenging was the task of translating this exceptional performance to smaller screens, catering to IMAX's important, diverse commercial market. I'd like to thank Andy Kurtz, Dwight Petruchik, Chuck Brugger, Phil Marino, Jesse McMullen, Joe Beatree, John Bowman, Jennifer Michaels, Gary Nothard, and Bob Metzger, some of the many team members who made this happen. I'm immensely proud to have led this team that produced a product that has allowed filmmakers to paint their stories on a vast, immersive canvas with impact and panache. I'd also like to thank our families for the sacrifices, for the extended hours necessary to reach this accomplishment, especially my dear wife, Tammy, and my 5 children. So with that, I'll turn it over to Steve.
I'm the only one between you and dinner, so I recognize that. I'll try to be brief. Thomas Edison once said, if I find 10,000 ways something won't work, I haven't failed. I'm not discouraged, because every wrong attempt discarded is often a step forward. This quote epitomizes the spirit of perseverance and innovation that drove the development of the IMAX prismless projection platform. It is a tremendous honor to accept this award on behalf of IMAX. The journey to create a prismless projection platform required a tapestry of innovations, and I'm privileged to have worked alongside such talented and dedicated individuals. While Barry has already acknowledged many key contributors from the R&D team, I want to extend my gratitude to the executive team led by our CEO, Rich Gelfand, for their visionary leadership and their unwavering support. Also, a special thanks to David Keeley, who championed the idea and made sure that we remained focused on achieving the highest possible image quality. Also, Alex Rostowski and Klaus Methner were instrumental in addressing procurement and manufacturing challenges. Being on a team that has had such a profound impact by delivering such an amazing product to so many people is truly humbling. Lastly, I'd like to express a heartfelt appreciation to my wife, Nirvana, and my children, Michaela, Catriel, Joshua, and Netanya, for their patience and encouragement throughout this journey. Thank you.
All right, 16 awards in one night. And now they're giving us dinner. Well, thank you to the Academy Committee and to the wonderful writers and producers backstage for allowing me to host this thing. I got to tell you, sincerely, this is easily, hands down, my favorite award show of all time and unequivocally the coolest one by miles, okay? Genuinely. I wrote that. Congratulations again on your well-deserved honors, everyone, and a personal thank you for all the work you do. It's truly amazing. Good night, geniuses.